We're an international household, so that we've got a Spanish person, a Peruvian person, Nigerian, a British person, and a German brought up in Switzerland. My parents both grew up in Nigeria. They came in the 1970s. I think my mum came in about 1974. My dad was already here working for the civil service. I loved the food as we were growing up. My mum doesn't cook English food. Sometimes she would try and, try something out. But generally, she would cook the food that she grew up with, and there's a lot of different dishes that she can cook. She's a really good cook. So the food that we grew up with was it was really hearty and healthy. It's comfort food. It's happy food. She's like potatoes. You can have potatoes, but then you could eat yam, and yam is so much more filling and flavorful. Why would you eat potatoes? I wish I could cook like my mum does, and she actually enjoys cooking, and she'll wake up one morning and be like, this is what I feel like having today, and then, go to the market and buy fresh spinach and all of this, and I'm just not that person. I enjoy eating food, so my mum helped me to develop a love of eating food. Everybody who came to the house would, she would cook for everybody, and she would ask what you want to eat, and then go and cook that thing. So if two people come and they want two different things, she'll cook two different things. I just don't have the patience for wanting to spend time in the kitchen. It bores me. I need to have something like the TV on or something to distract me from the fact that I am actually cooking. Yeah, I cooked fried rice with chicken, which for Nigerian culture, you eat it at weddings or on Sundays kind of thing. It's quite a special dish. I could eat rice every day, probably 365 days a year, because my mum was a nurse. She used to work nights, so she'd cook food and it'd be in the fridge kind of thing. So we ate a lot of rice, and there's different things you can do with rice. I love rice, so I don't mind if it's fried rice, jollof rice, plain rice. I would like to cook more. I'd like to care more about cooking, but it just comes down to the fact that unless it's food that somebody else has cooked for me, whereas I can really get into it. Eating is a thing you have to do to stay alive, and if you didn't have to do it to stay alive, it just consumes so much time. A few times a week I would eat if I didn't have to eat, because really you could spend that time sleeping. I love sleeping. It's a bit of a toss-up. If somebody else is cooking for you, then I can really enjoy it, because I haven't had to go through the hard work of cooking it myself. But I think it's less enjoyable. I think people who enjoy cooking say this, that it's less enjoyable eating your own food. So if somebody else has cooked it, then I can really take enjoyment in it. But myself cooking it, I just feel like, how long did I spend cooking this? Is it, what else could I have been doing? I've managed not to kill myself with my food so far. I think it's doing quite well.